What's up, guys? Hope everybody's all doing well. And as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about the big upcoming light heavyweight clash taking place this weekend between David Benavidez and David Morrell. This is a pretty tough fight to call once again. I think it's pretty close to being a 50-50 fight. I think it's going to be, like I said, a very competitive and exciting matchup, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Going into it, I'm probably slightly leaning towards David Benavidez, mostly due to his gas tank and more experience in the pro game. However, like I said, I expect it to be a very difficult fight for both men. I think it's going to be a fight of two halves. I expect David Morrell to probably have the slight edge in the first half of the fight while the two fighters are fresh. I think Morrell is the sharper of the two and the more sort of versatile and skilled of the two boxers. But with that being said, I expect David Benavidez to sort of come out and employ his normal game plan, which is to try and apply a lot of pressure and slowly start to wear his opponent down and have a lot more success in the second half of the fight. So, yeah, like I said, I think Morrell's got to probably come out and try and box, use his sort of foot speed advantage, use a bit of lateral movement, try not to take too much damage early in the fight, try to keep the fight at a distance. However, like I said, I think Morrell can fight on the inside as well. I think he's got some really good uppercuts and hooks on the inside, so I would expect him to be able to hold his own, especially early in the fight while he's fresh on the inside with David Benavidez. But I really wouldn't recommend that too much because you don't want to try and make the fight any more physical than it needs to be and take any more damage and body shots than you need to. And if you let Benavidez get close to you, then obviously he'll start to try and rattle off those fast combinations of his to the body and head, which, like I say, you don't want to take much of that early in the fight, as this will really take your legs away even more so. And like I say, I think at some point though he is probably going to have to try and put a shoulder up against Benavidez as Benavidez sort of comes in quite square with a high guard. I think we're going to have to see Morrell at some point, probably preferably in the second half of the fight, put a shoulder on Benavidez's chest and start to try and hold his ground a bit more, because I do think, that he's not going to have the stamina to try and box and move for the full 12 rounds, obviously, against Benavidez, especially with the way that he really aggressively applies pressure, just sort of walking you down, not afraid to take shots at all on the guard, and has a very good chin and soaks up a lot of punishment really well, which helps break his opponents down by letting them sort of waste their energy sort of punching his high guard and whatnot. So I think Morrell is going to have to try and stay as calm and composed as possible, try not to waste too much energy with too much movement, but obviously try and, like I say, box and move as smartly as possible, use accurate sort of sharp punches, and don't waste too many punches on Benavidez's guard, because, like I say, I think this is going to be a very tough fight in terms of cardiovascular test for Morrell, unless he can really hurt Benavidez early in the fight and sort of make him a bit more shy to try and just walk him down. But David Benavidez has a really good chin, so I don't really expect to see Morrell really rock or wobble Benavidez in this fight, but anything's possible. Morrell can punch a bit, but I don't think he's a huge puncher, so I'm not really expecting him to be able to put too much of a dent in Benavidez's chin, which is ultimately why I do favor Benavidez in this fight, because I think it's more likely that he's going to be the one that's able to stick to and apply his game plan the best out of these two fighters, because like I say, with Morrell, I think at some point he might get comfortable letting Benavidez in because he's having some success on the inside, and due to the fact that, I think he's going to run out of legs at a point in this fight and not be able to move and stay on the outside. So like I say, he's going to have to probably start letting Benavidez get in on him due to fatigue and whatnot, which will, in my opinion, allow Benavidez to sort of apply his game plan more consistently throughout the second half of the fight, which is, going to be a tough one for Morrell. I think it's really going to show us a lot about his heart and durability. But yeah, so like I said, I think Benavidez ultimately, in my opinion, has the slight advantage in this fight due to, like I said, I think he's going to be the one that's going to be able to apply his game plan the best out of the two, and apply a lot of pressure, and ultimately break down Morrell and either get a late stoppage or win a close, competitive, very competitive sort of points victory over Morrell. So yeah, that's my thoughts pretty much on the fight. I think ultimately it is going to be a very competitive and exciting fight. But yeah, leaning towards David Benavidez being the one to be able to pull out a tough fight here due to having more experience and being able to really impose his game plan more effectively. But yeah, we'll see. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.